Hello, everybody. Today I'm here with the Disney Heroes Battle Mode Update 4.7, and today we are getting Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets, as well as Patch Season 4 and some improvements. So without further ado, let's look at Statler and Waldorf. Now, I think it's safe to say that we have plenty of Muppets characters in the game, but for me personally, if they're going to add any more Muppets characters, these are definitely ones that I wanted to see the most. I think they just make for a really interesting character, and it's crazy to see these guys lined up with Little John from last week. And it's just like, this is a way better introduction of some characters. Or like, they're just way more interesting, make for a much more interesting moveset. And I guess I haven't looked at the moveset, but I would imagine that it's going to be fun to watch their animations and everything. Again, Muppets is, I think, the second most populated series in the game, which is pretty crazy to think about, but I guess they do have a good amount of iconic characters. Or maybe like the developers really like the Muppets or something. Or maybe the Muppets have gotten them the most revenue or attention, I don't know. But other than Toy Story as well. I saw a lot of people on the comments of this one just saying they didn't like it because that was a Muppets character. I think that's a little strange just to not like something because we have a lot of Muppets characters. I think you should not like them because of maybe their moveset or because of you just don't like the character or how they look. But to not like them because we have a series with a lot of the characters, I don't know. That's just kind of stupid. Although, to be fair, if we were getting someone that I didn't care about from the Muppets, maybe I'd be on board. But either way, I think this is a really fun addition. If I would have loved to have done a hero concept of this one at some point, honestly. I think they have a fun design, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. They did a good job. They look really good. And it's actually a hero that I am interested in trying out. Also, I was not expecting this to come out today. I don't know why. I feel like we have not gotten a reveal of characters back to back in like forever. I don't really understand why we're getting this today. But yeah, okay. Let's go through the skills. Or I guess let me read this real quick. They'll be available in the prize wall starting March 9th, which is like 3 weeks from now. So again, I don't necessarily know why we're getting this now, but yeah. Going to the skills, first up is Tired Material. Statler and Waldorf are bored to sleep by their enemy's performance. While asleep, they're invincible, immune to disables, and heal over time. Once they wake up, their entire team gains more armor and reality for a duration, along with stacks of hardy, while all enemies gain stacks of weakness for a duration. Alright, next up is Rotten Performance. Statler and Waldorf boo at the enemy team, encouraging the audience to throw vegetables at them. All enemies take normal damage from the flying vegetables and are studied in silence for a few seconds. Duration? I don't know what that is. But that is very funny. I'm excited to see tomatoes just flying in from off screen. Next is Review Bombing. Statler and Waldorf rate the enemy with the highest armor's performance, decreasing the enemy's armor and reality and applying curse for a duration. Then Negative Buzz. When Statler and Waldorf apply weakness to enemies, the ally with the highest skill power gains more skill power for a duration. Statler and Waldorf's basic attacks will now deal a bonus instance of fantastic damage to enemies with weakness. The skill power increase can only be triggered once every few seconds. Finally, Born to Heckle. Tired Material now provides Statler and Waldorf with a tenacity and evasion increase for a duration after they wake up. Review Bombing now applies a tenacity decrease and an evasion decrease to enemies for a duration. So yeah, just a lot of stat stuff going on. I just think the idea behind these moves are much more inspired than the characters we've been getting recently. Again, comparing this to Little John, who kind of just does stuff, I think that there's a bit more thought and like uniqueness, creativity put into this moveset. So I appreciate that. The friendships are with Carl and Fozzie. Carl's a very funny one. We don't have a lot of like old people in the game, so I think they'll get along pretty well. Or they'll maybe just make fun of Carl. I think they'll probably get along. And then Fozzie, they'll probably just say how bad Fozzie's jokes are. And pretty normal one. I kind of wish they had another friendship that wasn't with a a Muppet character, but that's fine. There's a bunch of information on the patch Season 4. I guess not a whole lot, but I'm just going to look at the new series, which are Inside Out, Tron Legacy, Gargoyles, Treasure Planet, and The Sword in the Stone. Inside Out, I guess I care about, but the other ones don't matter to me whatsoever. And I think maybe Gargoyles might be the only one people really care about. I don't see people using Treasure Planet or Sword in the Stone characters all too often, but obviously they have to do all the characters at some point, so it don't really matter. But yeah, it's always nice to be getting more patch stuff. It kind of feels like it's been a while. There are just an insane amount of hero improvements and bug fixes that you can dive into if you really want to, but I don't care about any of that stuff. We'll just move to new hero locations and content adjustments, which just restates that Statler and Waldorf will be in the prize wall starting March 9th, and it's a full app and server update that's planned for Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. I believe this was a surprise as well. I don't think they were data mined, which is always fun. I think this is, again, one of the more exciting kind of heroes that we've gotten in a while, or like just fun to see them show up on the page here when you open it up. And I'm sure a lot of people will think it's certainly interesting. It'll always have its haters, but I think this is a pretty fun hero to add, and they seem to have a lot of other stuff in here too. Like I said, there are a bunch of hero improvements and the more patch stuff. So I feel like this is one of the more successful patch notes in a while, even though people are always going to complain about it. But I've also heard some people saying they feel like the game is dying. I've been saying that for like 3 years now, so I don't know. There could be more evidence towards that, but we've still had a pretty steady stream of new characters and stuff. Even if the game probably is getting much less played than it used to, until they just outright say, this is the end, you know. We have a lot more patches to go through. They have a lot of plans for the story, so and as far as we all know, they're just going to keep going, but it really could get canned at any day for all we know as well, so keep that in mind. Always be excited for these characters, because probably sometime soon we're not going to be getting any more. So even if you don't like a character, probably best to just be excited for it anyways, because eventually you're not going to even have that option. But that's all I have to say. Like I said, I think it's a pretty fun character to add, or duo, I guess. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.